Guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Aqua deck profile. So this is a Tetra Drive Dragon build because you guys voted for it and it came in third. So yeah, here's the deck. So starting Vanguard, I run Eric. He's a grade 3 searcher, so that, a lot of times if your clan doesn't really have anything spectacular to use, you probably will run the grade 3 searcher. So I run the grade 3 searcher. And grade 3s, I run 3 Tetra Drive Dragon. He's the main star of the deck. And I only run 3 because one, he's not really good by himself. He really requires the break ride for him to, unleash his full potential. But running 3 is, running 3 is the right number for me. So, for those who don't know the effect, it's number break 4. When this card attacks the Vanguard and it's the second attack of that turn, this card gets a new ability, and that ability is when your opponent. When you do your 4th attack on this turn, you may counterblast 2 and discard 2 cards, and this card can stand. So basically, you will need him to be the second attacker in order for him to get the auto effect, and then afterwards you need to have a 4th attack in order for you to pay that cost and stand up. So his standing ability is actually quite restraining, especially in this metagame, because Link Jokers are around, so they do mess around with how many attacks you can get through. But there's a lot of ways to play around that, so keep that in mind. Alright, so next I run 4 Transcore Dragon. He's the break ride of the deck, and he is very key. His skill is when the Aqua Force unit rides on top of this card. Alright, when an Aqua Force unit rides on this card, that unit gets plus 10,000 power and a new ability, and that ability is, quote, when this card attacks an opponent's Vanguard, your opponent must discard a card. If they do not discard a card, this unit will get plus 1 critical, and your opponent cannot call units to the Guardian Circle. So basically, if they don't discard one, they won't be able to guard, and your Vanguard will get plus 1 critical, which is really scary. So your opponent is probably gonna guard if they're at 3 damage, because once you flip a critical trigger, you win. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways to play this deck, and I'll explain that at the end. Next, I run 1 Diamantes. He's been putting in a lot of work for me, so I like him at 1. Because, I run 7 grade 3s that you can ride into, so this one card, you're probably not going to ride into him, and if he's the only grade 3 you draw into in your opening hand, I suggest you mulligan it. So, yeah. So the 1 Diamantes, pretty good. For those who don't know his effect, it's when this card is the first to attack, this card has plus 2,000 power, and you can swap it with the card behind it afterwards. So basically, you just go attack, and then you swap. So, yep. Whoop. And next, for grade 2s, I run 4 Tidal Assault. He is the grade 2 Benedict, and he helped me win a lot of games. So basically, when this card attacks the Vanguard, while this card is in the rear guard circle, you attack, this card stands up, and it loses 5,000 power. So yeah, basically it's the same ability as Benedict, except he's a 9k. And then next I run 2 of the grade 2 Sharpshooter. I forgot his name, Twin something Sharpshooter. Doesn't matter. His effect is when this card attacks, and you have 2 or less rested rear guards. Oh wait, 2 or less, 2 or less rested rear guards. This card has 3,000 power, so he becomes a 12k attacker. Yeah, so there's that. Next, I run 2 10k attackers. Mainly, you want to ride into him because, as I said in my last video, Mobius Breath is a thing, so yeah. And, you know, it's also nice to have a 10k body so that you don't get bullied by your opponent's 19k columns. And then next I run 3 11k attackers. His effect is, he's the limit break 4 11k attacker, so when you have a limit break 4 Vanguard, this card gets plus 3,000 power. Alright, sorry for it being blurry. You really don't want to ride into him, but he's really good as an 11k attacker. So, he's a double-edged sword. Next, I run 4 Wheel Assault. He's pretty good. He's the new card that we get from BT 13. His ability is Counterblast 1 when this card boosts Aqua Force unit. Actually, it doesn't even have to be it doesn't even have to be Aqua Force unit. You can actually, it does have to be Aqua Force unit. So tired. Okay, so basically, after you finish boosting, you may pay the cost, and then you can choose 2 of your units and swap them. So basically, what you do is, if you have 2 cards like this, and then you have a, let's move these out of the way. It's like that, and that's your Vanguard. Basically, what you can do is have this attack, and then have your Vanguard attack, because you want to be second. And then, you know, if you get any triggers or whatever, you put that whenever. And then you attack with this. You can either stand this guy. Actually, let's just not use another effect. As an example, you can just attack like that, Counterblast 1, swap this up front, and then attack. So basically, he can swap your grade 2s that cannot normally swap. People run Basil, but I really don't like Basil in this format because it can't really hit anything. So I'd rather not have an empty attack. The way I built this deck right now is that pretty much every attack will force some guard out of your opponent's hand. So, yeah. Alright, next I run 2 Eugene. Right. He is the Great 1 attack swapper. I run him over Basil because Basil can't hit anything and it's grade 2, and there's a lot of other grade 2s that you can use. So why not use this grade 1 to swap? Since, you know, him and Basil can't hit anything anyway, so, you know, run him in grade 1s because there's a lot of things you can run in grade 1s. I tried running the grade 1 sharp brave shooter, and I didn't like it, so I run him. You can also run Torpedo Rush instead, but I don't like Torpedo Rush, so I run 2 of him, you know, just for safety precautions. I never actually used his effect, but actually I did use his effect once, and I did actually manage to force some guard of my opponent's hand because of the draw trigger. But anyway, I'll tell you guys about that later. Next, I run 4 8k boosters because you know, 8k boosters, and then 4 perfect guards because perfect guards, you know, perfect guards, and then that's pretty much it for the main for the grade 1s. For the triggers, I run a really unique. Actually, I don't know if it's unique or not, but I don't see a lot of people running this. 6 crit, and 6 draws, and then 4 heal. These are so important. Like, these help you hit numbers so well. Like, these are really good. Like, they can make it so that your Tidal Assault and your Eugene, so that they can hit by themselves. Like, this card pumps Tidal Assault into a 12k, so you can attack him by himself, have him stand, and have him attack boosted. And for Eugene, pump him. He'll attack. He'll turn into 11k because he gets 2k. He gets 2k when he's the first to attack. So basically, he'll swing for 11 and then swap, and then you get another unit. I've seen people that run stands, run it comboing with this card, so that after you do something crazy like attack, swap, get a stand trigger, stand, and then attack boosted. Then that's pretty amazing. But that doesn't really happen a lot, so I don't do that. I don't run stands. Wow. Right. So here's a few tips. Tips on how how to face roll with this deck. For example, if your booster is that, and then you have Diamantes, and let's say that guy, and then something like this. This is actually a pretty standard field. I get this field 8 out of 10 games. Maybe not him, but maybe something like this, which is around the same. So basically, what you do is attack with this. Let's just use this as an easier example. Attack with Diamantes or Eugene, and then that's your first attack. Then you go for your second attack, assuming you break ride. So you can attack unboosted. It's fine. Your opponent will probably still drop a card from their hand and 2 cards maybe. Don't know. Don't know if they're going to risk it or not. But if they do, perfect guard it. That's perfectly fine. So like that. And then you attack with, let's see, attack with this. You'd be 11k, so your opponent will probably drop another 5. And then you attack, you can either attack like this and counterblast 1 so that you can swap. Or if you use the trick I just told you about, like that, soul charge, he'll attack for a number. Or you can assume that you got a trigger, because you usually will get at least 1 trigger per drive check, although that's not guaranteed. You can put your trigger onto him so that he can swing by himself, so he'll be 14. And then he'll stand back up by himself, so he'll be at 9k again, because you minus 5k. And then you attack for 16, so you drop another 10. Actually, wait, sorry, I messed there. So you basically, you attack once, and then that's your 4th attack, so you pay the cost. And he stands up, and this guy stands up, and then you attack like this for 29, assuming that you didn't put the trigger on him, you put it on him instead, and then you attack, and then if any other triggers you get, you put it all back on Tidal Assault. So assuming you get 1 again, or none, it's still fine. Then you, because they ditched quite a lot of cards to guard against him twice when you break ride. So assuming by now they'll probably have little to no cards in hand. Another tip that makes winning easier is keep your opponent at 3 damage if you can. And then once they hit you to 4 damage when you're in Transcore Dragon, immediately Brick Ride, and then screw them over. Because a lot of times, what I do is I usually kill my opponents really early game, probably like turn 6, 5, or 6. Usually the turn that I unlock my limit break, I can kill them. Because usually they don't. Usually that early in game, they won't have enough cards to ditch for Tetra Transcore. So yeah, because like if they perfect guard you twice, they still need to ditch 6 cards, and that's just from your Vanguard. It's not counting these little attacks that they have to drop 1 card. So let's just calculate this. This video is very long. Assuming this, they drop 5. They drop 5. I mean, wait. They drop 1 card. They drop 2 cards. Whoops. They drop 1 card. They drop 3 cards. Probably, I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna drop 3 cards if they're. They could drop no cards, but then they might be dead. So let's just assume that they dropped a lot of cards. So they drop 3 cards. They drop 1 card. That's 4 cards. 5 cards. 5 cards. Assuming you got 1, so there's just 6 cards. 6 cards, and then you stand, and then they're probably gonna drop another 3 cards. So that's 9 cards. So 10 cards. So if your opponent has 10 cards in their hand, then congrats for your opponent. But if they don't, then you can, shake their hand. Just kidding. Anyway, this is pretty much it for this deck. I've been talking for too long, but I guess I'm compensating for my absence. I've been really busy, so if you can see my room, it's full of cards everywhere and stuff. Yeah, I've just been really busy, and I have to organize that, so that's a thing. Anyway, this is Karotaku, and I will see you guys later. Bye.